Hello guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a quick review on the new Fenty cream products. I did get one blush and one bronzer. Also, I do have a few cream products here that I've already used and love for a while now. So I want to see how these compare to the new Fenty products. So I'll start with the bronzer. This is called the Cheek Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer in the shade Macchiato. This is the shade that I got. So this is how the packaging looks like. Very beautiful. And this is the color that I got, which I think is going to be good for me now. So it doesn't smell like anything, which is great. So what I'll do is swatch it here on the back of my hand with the Clinique Chubby Stick Curvy Contour and the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer next to each other, just to see the difference in the color and texture. So let's see. Wow, it's like very, very emollient. It almost feels greasy in a sense. I didn't expect that at all. It feels like if it was melting or something. Like really melting, like, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe like when you touch coconut oil and with the warmth of your fingers starts like melting. It feels like that. I don't know if you can see how shiny it is. I think I've heard somewhere that these has maybe not coconut oil, but something like that, or something that comes from coconut oil. So I don't know if I'm a fan of that, but we'll see. I really like the undertone. It's beautiful. And I'm not mad at how glowy it looks, because I do like a glowy look. Okay, so far so good. Let's see how this compares to one of my favorite ones that I've used the longest of the products that I have here is actually the Milk Baked Bronzer. This one is actually matte formula, but I wouldn't say it's flat at all. It doesn't have a shine to it, but it looks just like skin. And here's the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer. It does have a similar undertone, in my opinion. So that's a win for me, because I know that I'm gonna like it now. And finally, I'm going to swatch the Clinique Chubby Stick in Curvy Contour, which this one is definitely darker and has like a reddish undertone. It's a little bit more warm. I will say the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer is actually a little bit more neutral than the three. And this one here, the Fenty Beauty, is between these two. It's like these two had a baby. It's a good sign. I'm excited to try it. So let's open the blush. I'm excited. This is called the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer, and I got it in the shade Fuego Flush, which is the orange crazy shade. Of course, how to get it. This is how it looks like. Very beautiful. I like the white packaging actually. And this is the color. Ta-da! Very beautiful for the summer and spring. I think it's gonna look great. I know that it's hard to get through a blush. It takes a long time. I have a lot of blushes, so I know that probably I won't go through one of my blushes ever. But this is a little too small. A little too small in my opinion. It looks almost like a single eyeshadow. It's too big of a difference between the bronzer and the blush, in my humble opinion. And I've heard these are actually like a sheer formula. We'll see about that. So if it's actually sheer, which is great because this is like a crazy color, and a lot of them in the line are very bright and very like, they're beautiful, but very bright. So I think myself and a lot of people would like them to be a little bit more on the sheer side, which is great. But it still is a little tiny. It's tiny. Look at the difference. This is way too much of a difference. I would say these could be maybe a little bit bigger. Not as big as a bronzer if you don't want to, because I know that a lot of people, including myself, we use a lot of more bronzer than we would the actual blush. But the difference is too big, in my opinion, but well. Besides that, let's start swatching. I'm excited to see how this one looks. Same thing, it feels like very melty, very, like if it was melting almost. Very shiny, same thing, which I'm not mad at all. This is how the shade looks like. The other two blushes that I own are the Nudesitx Nudies all over face color in the shade in the nude, and the Kosas duo in 8 Muse. So I'll show you the Nudestix first. I think I've used it in other videos before. This is one of my favorite cream blushes products all around. I love Nudestix. So there's a little hair on it. Great. Okay, so I'm going to swatch it next to it. This formula is actually matte, so it's not going to have a lot of shine, but it's not flat either. I'll show you the difference. Fenty Beauty is actually a lot more shinier than the Nudestix. Next, let's swatch the Kosas, which I know that is very, very creamy, emollient, almost like the Fenty Beauty actually. It feels the same when you go in and actually touch it. It's melty the same way, see? And very shiny too. It's very beautiful. I like it. But the Fenty Beauty, I think, still shinier than the Kosas. Okay, so enough swatching. I'm excited to try these two and see how they perform on the face. So what I'll do is I'm going to apply it one side with my sponge, and on the other side I'm going to use brushes. I have these Real Techniques buffing brush. It's just a synthetic brush. Great, it's so soft. I love Real Techniques, and synthetic brushes are amazing when it comes to cream products too. I think I mentioned that in my previous video or the video before that. I think it was the cream product video or something. I'll link that video below if you haven't watched it so you can check it out. And the other brush that I have is this e.l.f. small stipple brush, which stipple brushes are known to be great with cream products. So I'll be using these two on this side, like I said, and the sponge on this side. So let's start. I'm excited. I'll start with the bronzer. I'm loving the undertone. It looks darker, in my opinion, in the pan, and it looks a little bit more, I thought it was gonna look a little bit more red-ish than orangey, and to be honest, I love an orangey kind of bronzer. I know sometimes it can be a little bit like, oh my gosh, you look like an Oompa Loompa, or you look like you self-tan wrong, but man, when it's right, it's right. And this one here, it's not too orangey, it's not too red, it's definitely not neutral, but man, chef kiss. And let me tell you, I didn't need to use a lot. It's actually pretty pigmented. I like it. Okay, for the win, with a sponge at least, is very good. Oh, and by the way, this sponge, it's amazing. Amazing. I love it. I've repurchased it I don't know how many times. You need it in your life. Just get it. Okay, now let's try it with my Real Techniques buffing brush. I would say, I don't know why, but I think the sponge side looks a little bit more dewier and glowier. Is that a word? A little bit more glowy than this side with the brush, but I'm not mad at it either. It doesn't look patchy, it's blending great. And I think it actually stays true to what it says, what it claims that it does. Like it feels like, what is it? Light as air. It actually feels like nothing on the skin. It doesn't feel cakey, it doesn't feel greasy, it doesn't feel like you have anything on really. Oh, did I mention what base I had on? I don't think I did. I'm actually wearing the Makeup Forever Ultra HD because I actually wanted to try these products with a foundation that I already know that I love, and just to make sure if it didn't look right, it wasn't the foundation messing it up, you know? Okay, this bronzer is a win for me. I know it's my first time trying it, and I'll see how it wears throughout the day now that I'm doing much, of course, because I'm inside my house, but at least I'll try wearing it as much as I can, and I'll give you an update later, maybe on another video or in my Instagram stories or something. But okay, so let's move on to the blush because it's orange and I'm excited to put it on my face. Okay, I don't get over how tiny the blush is. It's okay, so I'm gonna use the other side of my sponge to apply the blush. What do you think? I like it. And actually this blush I didn't mention, but it has like tiny speckles of like gold glitter. I wasn't sure about that, but on the skin it actually looks very pretty. It looks like very dewy, very beautiful. I like it. Now let's try it with my stipple brush from e.l.f. Okay, I think I'm applying way too much, but if you've been here before, you already know that I love my cheek products and I get carried away, but oh well. I like it. Still, I think I like it better with my sponge. A lot of cream products I do apply with my sponge and love, but this one especially looks better with a sponge. Like my Milk Makeup Bronzer, I usually apply it with my Real Techniques brush and I love it. Same thing with my Curvy Contour Chubby Stick from Clinique, but actually for these Fenty cream products, I think I will stick with my sponge because it looks, I don't know, a little bit more fresh, glowy to me. Either way, they look beautiful. They don't look patchy. I think the pigmentation is right. And I love the colors. I love the colors that I picked. I think I might pick up another blush or so because this is looking very beautiful. And I love cream products, like I said a million times before. I think maybe in Instagram, I don't know, another video. Cream products just look fresh. They look like they're part of your skin. They don't look heavy, they don't look dry. My face is already dry, so I do like a nice, beautiful cream product when I can get my hands on it. So I might pick up another shade because there was this pinky, almost like a neon pastel, if that makes sense, shade that, oh my gosh, I was between that one and this orange one, but I love my peachy colors and the orange one was the closest to my peach that I could get, so this is the one that I got. Final thoughts, I think the Fenty Beauty Bronzer, it's a little bit more glowy, it's a little bit more emollient than the Milk Baked Bronzer, for example. This is a beautiful bronzer. It's more of a matte finish. Like I said, it's not flat, but it's definitely more matte. A little bit more neutral, I would say, than these shade Macchiato. Either or, they're beautiful, but this one, man, has my heart right now, for sure. So this will be the one that I'll be using the most at the moment, especially towards the summer. This blush is beautiful. I really like that they have a ton of different colors. They are very bright, but because they're on the sheer side, you can get away with it without looking crazy, in my opinion. Comparing these to my Nudesitx, definitely a lot more glowy. Granted, these blush from Nudesitx, these finish that I own, it's on the matte side, not flat, but matte. So for a more fresh and glowy look, I think I like this one. The Fenty blush, especially these orange one, I'll say that is very unique. I've never seen, first of all, I've never seen an orange like this. I haven't. And also, this has like I mentioned, it has glitter in it, but it doesn't transfer like that on my cheeks. And I've never seen a cream product that has glitter in it. I would never think that a cream product could have actually glitter in it and look good. I think because of the texture, they're gonna look a lot more glowy and fresh, which I love in a creamy product. That's actually what I'm looking for when I reach towards my cream products. I want my face to look hydrated, glowy, and beautiful. The closest formula that I've tried to these Fenty cream product is the Kosas duos, but these duos come in a few colors, and let me tell you, Fenty, come on, Fenty has a bright orange shade. The Kosas range is actually a little bit more on the neutral side, which is beautiful too. But for the summer, we want to be fun, right? So, okay, so these are my thoughts on the new Fenty cream products. They are chef kiss, in my opinion. They're beautiful. They don't feel tacky or anything on the face. If these are sweat resistant, I think that means they're gonna be long wearing, and props for that, great. Okay, short and sweet, or I hope. We'll see when I edit. And I hope this video helped you figure it out if you had an eye on these products, if you want to pick them up or not. I do think they're worth it. They're beautiful. I'm very excited, and I know that I'm gonna get a lot of use out of them. I will leave the information of all these products down below as always, as well as my Instagram. If you want to go ahead and follow me, I will love that. Maybe later on this week or early next week, I will give you my thoughts on how I am liking these new cream products. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. More on the sheer, because they're no, pero pana, ¿por qué no puedo hablar? No entiendo. I know they're a lot.